How's it going, guys? So today I'm bringing you my final mini-series money-making guide for the moment. Now it's going to be for high-level players, and these requirements definitely are high. They're not just sort of like around the 70s. So if you're not quite at the requirements yet, don't stress too much. Maybe use this video as a bit of motivation to push yourselves just to get to those requirements. So there is going to be a very surprising method in this that's not combat, so just keep your eyes open for that one. It can get you about 9 to 9.5 mil an hour. So anyway, without delaying any further, let's get straight into it. So our first method, guys, is going to be making raw summer pies. You are going to need 95 cooking for this, but it will make you about 3 mil profit per hour. It can go to about 3.5 mil depending how quick you can go. This is assuming you can make 840 pies per hour. So what you're going to be doing is buying the ingredients off of the Grand Exchange and then processing them to make the raw pie. And these sell quite high, seeing as people use them to train their magic and their cooking at the same time by using Bake Pie Spell. So what you're going to be doing is buying strawberries, cooked apples, watermelons and pie shells off the Grand Exchange. Now, once you've got these, you need to make a preset of 14 empty pie shells to begin with, and the strawberries. So, you add the strawberries to the pie shells first, and then you make the summer pies. And then once you've got that, you do it in 2 more stages. You add the watermelons next, then the cooking apples last. Once you've done this, you can, like I say, you can make up to 840 pies an hour. You can go higher, it just depends how quick you are. So using a preset will help. And this can grant you up to 3.5 mil an hour. Our second method is going to be frost dragons. Now you can get here by using a dungeoneering cape, or if you don't have a dungeoneering cape, just teleport to Port Sarim, run down the peninsula until you get to the dungeon there, go down and it'll bring you into here, just by the muggers over there. Now once you're there, if you just follow the map round to where it says you are here on my map, then you'll come to this door just where I am here. Now, once you've gone inside, you'll come into a room and there'll be loads of frost dragons around here. Now, the requirements to get here, guys, is 85 dungeoneering just to unlock the frost dragons. Also, I'd highly recommend having tier 90 weapons just to speed up your kills. You can do it with less, you can bring chaotics or something like that here. But I'd also recommend having 85 Herblore, just so you can use the super anti-fire potions. Other recommendations that I do suggest having, guys, is 95 prayer if you can, or if not, then 92 prayer just for the soul split. This will allow you to stay a lot longer. Also, if you're going to be planning on staying here for a while, you can increase your profits a lot by bringing magic notepaper and noting up the bones. Now, with this method, you can make about 3.5 mil an hour. Now, the great thing about this is you're also going to be getting that combat experience if you're not already at the max combat level. Also, even if you are, you could make your way towards 120 here and you'll get a fair decent amount of money. Obviously, it's not AFK because of the special attacks from the frost dragons, so just be careful for that. But when that does come, you can see it by a blue orb, which is circling around the frost dragon. Once you see that, just get off of it and wait until it's gone and then get back on. Because what it does is once it's there, I'll show you if it comes up, but I'm not sure if it will. It reflects any damage you deal to it back to yourself. So that can definitely get you killed if you're hitting really high. Our next method can be 3.6 mil profit an hour. We're going to be making nature runes after 92 rune crafting. And I also recommend having 93 summoning so you can have the Titan, the Abyssal Titan. Now, what I recommend you do for this is starting in Edgeville. Make sure you've got all of your rune pouches. You can get one extra one, the massive pouch, from the Wizard's Tower. Now, the best way to do this is, even on client as well, is setting up a preset with all your pouches at the top, an Amulet of Glory for teleporting back to Edgeville once you've done the run and made the runes. And then also having an offhand melee weapon and a main hand melee weapon if you have Bladed Dive available. This is going to just speed up your runs a little bit. We're going to be heading through the Abyss, going to the Nature Altar, making the runes and teleporting back. Now, the way you're going to save yourself a lot of time by having this preset is making sure that your familiar options is saved with Rune Essence. You have to update this if you've got it saved with something else at the moment. Once you've done that, head into your bank. The fastest way to do it is to fill up your massive pouch from here. So press fill on that. Close this off. Fill up the first 3 sizes of your pouches from your inventory. Take from your Beast of Burden what you can, and then fill up the next pouch there. If you have the Law Ethereal or the other Ethereal outfits, I only have the Law ones. If you put your chest piece on the action bar, you can actually just one-click that and it'll fill up from your inventory as well. So that'll just help you carry a few more Rune Essence at the time. And then once you've done that, go back into your bank and load your preset again. And then it'll fill up your inventory and it'll keep your rune pouches, and they're already full. They won't be emptied again. And then that'll also load up your Beast of Burden inventory again, so they're full. Once you've done that, you're going to want to head over the Wilderness Ditch towards the Zamorak Wizard, who will teleport you to the Abyss. What I recommend doing is saving Bladed Dive and Surge until you're actually in the wilderness, and then surge forward. And for some reason Bladed Dive has shared the cooldown. Okay. And then we will teleport with the Major Zamorak. Once we're in here, you're going to want to find one of these tunnels or the things that you can see around the edge of the thing, and you want to either go through there, you either burn it or dig through, I believe. Then if you look around the outside of the Abyss wall here in the middle, you can see that one there has the air rune symbol on it. So if you just make your way around until you find the nature one. So as you can see, all the different symbols are on there. Once you've found the nature one, if you go straight through it, which is there just at the front, it'll take you straight to the nature altar. And then if you click on that, it'll craft all of your runes, so you get 192 nature runes as long as you're at that correct summoning level. And then once you've done that, just teleport back to Edgeville. And then once you're back, you want to rinse and repeat. Now I'll just show you how quickly you can actually load a preset with the method that I was telling you about. So obviously, as you can see here, all my pouches are empty. My Beast of Burden is empty. So if I go into the bank now and fill up my pouch from here, load the preset, do those 3, click that, take that, fill them up, back into the bank, load the preset again, and then you're ready to go again. So it literally takes you about 3 to 4 seconds depending on how quick you are. You can probably do it faster on the main client rather than mobile. However, doing it on mobile is just as quick, seeing as you can use your thumbs to quickly press them across the screen anyway. Our next method is going to be able to make you a whopping 9 mil an hour. It's not AFK by any means, and it is still rune crafting. We're going to be making mud runes at the Earth Altar, which is just north of the lumber mill. You're going to need 95 rune crafting for this, 93 summoning for the Titan, and I also recommend having lunar spells, and I think it's about 75 magic for that to be able to use the magic imbue spell. Sorry, 82 magic for that. Now, what I recommend doing for your inventory is make sure you've got wearing either a mat cape or a tockle zoe, and then put that on your action bar for the one-click teleport. And then make sure you've got with you a binding necklace. This is going to ensure that you get a 100% success rate of binding the runes together. Otherwise, you don't have that 100% rate and you're going to get less runes. A steam battle staff. A rune pouch with cosmic runes, astral runes, and air runes. The reason for that is it gives you access to using the contact NPC spell and the magic imbue spell. So the contact NPC spell is going to let you contact the Dark Mage every time one of your pouches is sort of degraded a little bit. So I'll show you that now. If you just cast that, scroll down to Dark Mage, wait for that to go through. So if your pouches are degraded, you're not going to be able to carry as many essence in them at one time. So as soon as you see that message that it's degraded, or you notice that you're making less runes per run, talk to this guy, skip through his thing, and then click, can you repair my pouches? He'll repair them for you, and then that's that done. Also, the magic imbue spell is going to let you use the Earth Altar to make mud runes without having to bring all of the talismans for that, so clogging up your inventory. So keep that with you, and you cast that just before you use your water runes on the altar. Now you're going to need water runes because they combine with the earth runes to make the mud runes. The last item that we need is the Lumberyard teleport scrolls. And obviously we're going to use one of those to get to the Lumberyard every time that we do a trip. So, now all the inventory and the setups out of the way. Sorry, I know that was a lot. Just rewind if you need to catch up on that, or just copy my inventory as it is. If you've got the Law Ethereal outfit like the other one, or the other Ethereal ones, put the chest onto your action bar and that will fill up straight away. And I'll show you once more on how to fill up your pouches quickly. Go into your bank, fill up the massive one, load your preset, click the first three, take from beast to burden, click your outfit and your giant one, go back into the bank and load your preset again, and then you're ready to go. Once you've done that, click your Lumberyard teleport scroll, which is useful to have on a keybind as well. When you've arrived, you can see the Earth Altar is just south there. I said north earlier, apologies. If you just surge forward, it'll take you right to it. Once you're in here, just run to the centre of the room, and as you get closer, just cast the Magic Imbue spell. Click your water runes and then click on the Earth Altar and you'll get your mud runes. Now, I'm getting 95 a trip. It is possible to get more than that if you have the upgraded Ethereal outfit. Without that, you're going to be getting a little bit less, but don't worry, it's not going to affect your profits too much. Obviously, getting as much as you can is the best way to go. Use your max cape or your toggle zone to go back and then just repeat. I'll do one more run for you guys. I'll speed it up a little bit and then you can see just how quickly you can actually do it. So that was a few skilling methods there for you. Now, moving on, the next three are going to be bosses. However, bossing is going to be your main source of income as a high-level player, and it is going to bring you a lot more money into the game than doing skilling. Obviously, doing bosses such as Tellus can earn you about 15 to 20 mil an hour. Also, if you get lucky, you could earn a hell of a lot more than that. A lot of it is going to depend on skill and sort of mechanics of the boss as well, practicing them as well. So don't expect to be able to go to Tellus as a brand new player going into that sort of instance and then expect to make 15, 20 mil an hour. You are going to need to do a lot of practice, but once you get there, it is worth it. So the first boss that we're going to be looking at is a Raxor. So let's head there now. So guys, this clip may look a little bit familiar. It is one that's already on my YouTube channel, so go and check out the full kill if you'd like to see that. However, going back towards the Raxor, you can expect around about 10 mil to 11 mil an hour based off of 10 kills per hour, so about 5 to 6 minute kills. I do recommend that if you are starting out that you use range to do this boss. However, once you've practiced and you know the mechanics and you've got that sorted, you can probably jump onto melee and that'll get you a little bit faster kills. Now, I do recommend having tier 90 weapons for this and 95 prayer. This is just going to speed up your kills a lot. You can do a Raxor with lower level weapons and lower level armor, but I do recommend having that just so that you can get those faster kills, because clearly the faster you can kill the boss, then the more money you're going to be able to make. So once you're ready to kill a Raxor, jump in. Don't get too stressed out about the mechanics and things like that. It's just something that you're going to have to practice. But if you're a high level player, there's a good chance you've probably already got a Raxor, so it's probably just nice for you to know that you can make up to about 10 to 11 mil per hour doing a Raxor. So, this clip may also look familiar for you guys. We're looking at next. There's a full video of this kill on my YouTube channel as well, so just have a look at that if you'd like. However, jumping into it, you can make around about 7 mil to 8 mil an hour average with Nex. This is usually from the bolts drops and things like that, and also just sort of spreading out the average sort of rare drops that you're going to get. This can vary massively because of the rare drops. So if 1 hour you only get Onyx bolts and you get maybe 2 of those, that's going to give you your 7 mil. But if you then get Torva plate body the next one, that's going to push you all the way up over 40 to 50 mil depending on the prices at the moment. However, if the hour after that you get Pernix chaps, then you can sort of see where this is going to go. The rare drops are fairly decent rates at Nex, and especially if you're soloing, you're going to get all that profit to yourself.
Now, the costs to actually going into next isn't all that much. It's obviously quite a decent amount to use the instance. I think it's 800,000. And then, but the only thing you're going to have after that is the costs of food and ammunition for your weapon. Now, I use Elite Void for this to solo with. So my armor doesn't degrade or anything like that. I don't have tectonic sort of wasting away. But I do recommend having tier 90 weapons still and the 95 prayer. This is going to speed up your kills a lot, seeing as this is based off of 12 kills an hour. And it's just going to increase your profit for you a lot there. Finally, last but definitely not least, is Tellus. Now, on the screen at the moment, you can see me attempting to do Tellus on mobile. I am going to tell you before you start realizing it didn't go well. I did get to the last final phase. However, you can see that it is quite laggy when those beams do spawn, and you'll see that I can't sort of dodge the uppercuts and things like that. But however, I did manage to push my way through there. But you can just have a laugh at that while I'm explaining Tellus. Anyway, Tellus, once you've practiced and put in the effort and you've got it down to a T and you can constantly streak it, you can probably make up to around about 15 to 20 mil an hour. Now, obviously, this is going to go higher and higher the better you are at Tellus and the more practice you put into it. So if you're streaking from 100% up to 500%, you're going to make less profit than if you're streaking from 100% all the way up to like 1,000, 2,000%, things like that. So it all comes down to practice, and I need to put a lot of practice into this myself too. Also, don't forget, you could be doing an hour of Tellus and you could get a Staff of Siliske, and that's going to like obviously not be 15 mil an hour there, is it? It's going to be a hell of a lot more. So obviously, guys, Tellus is really difficult to do. I do recommend that you make sure that when you're going to learn Tellus, you're not going to think, yes, I'm going to go and do Tellus for the first time ever and make a ton of money. That's not how it works. And I do recommend having the best possible gear you can for this. Obviously, people can do it with a lot less gear, but if you're going for profit and you're going for fastest kills that you can, and also just making it easier on yourself, especially if you're learning, having the best gear that you can find is going to benefit you a hell of a lot. So guys, that brings us to the end of the video. I hope that it's been helpful for you. As always, just like and subscribe. I'm absolutely loving the support that I've had so far. You guys commenting on my videos and telling me what you like and things like that. It's been brilliant. So, as always, take care. See you later. Bye.